Welcome to the Michael Singer podcast, presented by Sounds True, in partnership with Shanti Publications. For more information about Michael Singer's work, access to all prior episodes, and information about upcoming releases, we invite you to join us at michaelsingerpodcast.com.
Jai Masters. People like to think of spirituality as joy, love, God, light, all this stuff. Until you work through what's blocking you, that's artificial. It's like trying to sail while the anchor's down. It's a very silly thing to do. Everybody does it. Why? Because they're not okay, and they want to be okay, and that looks like okay, so I want to be okay. The trouble is there's an anchor down there. Truth of the matter is you are okay. You're beyond okay. It's incomprehensible how beautiful you are, how much love you're filled with, how much inspiration you have all the time, passion for every single second. Every single one of you is the highest thing ever walked the face of the earth. Every single second, right now, period. Why don't I feel it? Well, if you're the fastest boat, finest sailing boat that ever was, and it's capable of doing everything, but it's anchored, you're not going to experience it. Spirituality is about getting rid of that anchor. It is not about reaching up. If you have a hot air balloon and it's tethered to the ground with ropes, you put all the hot air you want in it. Double up with super helium. It ain't going anywhere. It'll bounce a little bit. You seen them? They bounce a little bit. Okay? They're not going anywhere. I don't care what you do. You have to cut the tethers. What do they say? You have to untether it. All right? What I want to know is once you cut the tethers, what do you have to do to make it go up? Nothing. That's what I'm telling you. You're already there. Truth, you're going to find that out someday. I hope you will find out. You're already seated in universal consciousness. You are one with the divine. You're the creator of the universe. You, not your ego, not your body, not your mind. You in there. Why don't I feel it? Because you're looking down at the anchor. You only experience what you're looking at, don't you? You only see what you're looking at. You see what you're experiencing. Your consciousness is only conscious of what it's conscious of. Well, you're conscious of what? Your mind, your emotions, your body, and what comes in through your senses. That's what you're conscious of. Your consciousness is receiving what it's looking at. There's consciousness, and there's object of consciousness. There's light, and there's what the light is shining on. The light doesn't become what it's shining on. It illumines it. It gives it light and liveliness, et cetera, It brings out its colors, for sure. But the light doesn't become what it's looking at. You don't become what you're looking at, but it's what you're looking at. The light is only shining on one object. Your consciousness right now is only staring completely at your thoughts, your emotions, your body, and what's coming through your senses. That's it. That's why you don't feel who you are, because you're feeling what you're looking at. The light doesn't know, unless it's illumined, right? It doesn't know it's a light. If the light was conscious, it would say, I am this thing I'm shining on. I am this table. I am this vase. I am this thing, whatever it is. Because that's what I see. That's what I'm illumined, right? That's what you're doing with your mind. That's what you're doing with your heart. That's what you're doing with all these things. They say, oh, the heart is the spiritual thing. It is not. The heart is what the spirit is looking at. And if the heart is open, it's a beautiful thing. If the heart is closed, it's terrible. Okay? Consciousness is what is spiritual. The word spirit, Shakti, consciousness is the same word. It is that which is. It is conscious. It's aware. It's the only thing in the universe that's aware is awareness. And that's what God is I am that I am. I am the awareness. And I'm aware of everything. Why? Because I am aware that I created everything. That's who you are. That's where the masters go. That's what enlightenment means. Don't ever say you're enlightened. People walk around and say, oh, I'm enlightened. I meditated. Big deal. How come you're talking past tense? I had this experience. Anything. They stay there. Okay? Enlightened means you are merged with the entire universe. You are the creator of all things that ever was or ever will be. You enlightened? I thought so. So basically, you understand that you are a great being. But Mika, I'm totally depressed. No, you're not. Boy, do I get in trouble when I say that. You are not depressed. You are staring at a depressed psyche. Can it change? Can somebody make a phone call? Your heart is broken because your girlfriend or boyfriend left you. You're not eating and you're not showering and you're just laying in bed all the time. And you're just, oh my God, I'm so lost. You don't talk to anybody, right? And all of a sudden you get a phone call. Here's the phone call. You don't want to answer the stupid phone. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm all depressed, right? Hello, George? Says George. Hi, this is Sally. I am so sorry I left you. That was the stupidest thing I've ever done in my whole life. I never realized how much I love you till I left. I haven't thought of anything but you. And all this time, I know I hurt you. I'm so sorry. Can I come by? You're up and at 'em, baby. You're taking a shower, getting dressed. Right or wrong? I thought you were depressed. You were staring at a depressed psyche. The mind was wooing, the heart was wooing, and the body had no energy. All of a sudden, everything's up, everything's happy, everything's filled with joy and energy. A simple little phone call did what? It stopped you from closing yourself over your little drama. Your whole psyche was all dramatic, heart hurting, mind crazy, everything negative, never be positive again. You're thinking suicidal. All of a sudden, bam, it's over, gone. The consciousness was not depressed. It was staring at a depressed psyche. And so now it's filled with love. Has that ever happened to you? You know what? It doesn't take a phone call. You can do it with a thought. You started thinking, no, he doesn't like me, or something like that. And you say, what if he does? He said nice things. Maybe he meant them. All of a sudden, your whole mood, every single thing changes with a thought. Yes or no? So you are staring at the psyche. That's why you don't feel God. You are God staring down at creation. It doesn't look so good. Now, one thing you look at, and I want to talk about it, you have to get rid of the anchor. By the way, you do not have to get rid of the anchor. You have to stop staring at it. That's the type of an anchor that is only connected because you think it is. There's nothing holding you down but you, your thoughts, what you're doing with your mind. But it is holding you down. So you can, some people say spirituality is about getting rid of the ego, getting rid of the mind. Just meditate all the time and get rid of it and deny your body. Well, Buddha starved himself. Come on, there's a whole path of asceticism. They used to beat, Christians beat themselves with whips. You know that? They flogged themselves. Why? Because I'm not my body. I need to get rid of it. I'm not my mind. I need to shut it up and stop it. I'm not my heart. I'm not getting married. I'm not having intimate relationships. I've never done to do with anybody. I've renounced the world. Okay? Who did? Me, I. Oh, you still in there, are you? Understand that? It's not about getting rid of what you're looking at. In the end, it's about not looking at it. And it only takes a second. Enlightenment takes a second. It's like, bam, it's over. They start laughing. Because you just catch on that you don't have to look at it. You don't have to get rid of it. Why do you have to get rid of it? Does the light have to get rid of the object it's shining on to realize it's a light? Does the sun have to stop shining down onto the things it's shining on to realize, wake up, you're the sun. You never left this infinite space. You stayed out there. You're just emanating, radiating your rays onto the earth. You're not the earth. The sun is not anything it falls on, is it? It's that thing up there in the sky, in space. Same thing with you. All you need to do is to learn to stop getting distracted by your thoughts, your emotions. As I say, the heart's not the highest thing. It makes beautiful emotions. That's really nice. Compared to humans, it's very, very nice. It's just something self is looking at. Love is just something self is looking at. Consciousness is everything. So you have to learn to stop getting distracted by your thoughts. Not get rid of your thoughts. Stop distracted by your thoughts. There can be all kinds of thoughts going on. If you're not paying attention, somebody's standing over there telling you stuff. Do you have to shut them up to not listen? No. You just have to stop paying attention. It's the exact same thing inside yourself. That's the deepest of all spiritual teachings. All these paths of shut up, this, blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. You're going to find that you have to do them because you don't know how to not be distracted by yourself. So you'll go through all these things. I'm not talking against them. But understand what's said and done. If you're not distracted by your thoughts, it doesn't matter what they are. No one's paying attention to them. Who cares? If you're not distracted by your emotions, doesn't matter. Okay? How you doing today? I don't know. I haven't checked. Oh, look. He's got some pain left over when somebody said to him before. Hi, goodbye. You don't have to push it away. You don't have to do anything. You're just not distracted by it. That's what I'd like to teach you. How to not be distracted. That's not easy. Do you understand that? That is not easy. And I'm not talking about not be distracted when you're sitting in meditation. That's enough trouble that you're sitting down trying to not be distracted. Okay? I'm talking about not distracted as you walk through life. Not distracted with relationship, not distracted with your job. You're still going there. You're doing your job. You're just not being pulled down into the garbage while you're doing your life. You're doing your life, okay? Everything's happening, but you're not distracted by this junk that's going on inside your mind and your emotions and stuff. How do you get there? One way that I have found, I've been doing this for how long? Going on 55 years. It's a long time. So you learn a few things. You learn a few things about what works and what doesn't and so on, okay? And one thing that I found, and somebody asked me, why do you keep talking about that, is if you take your mind, your consciousness, because wherever you put your mind, your consciousness is, off the planet Earth. For example, we know it's a little ball spinning through space. Make yourself a giant and sit on top of it as if it was your seat. You're just sitting down there, okay? Then look around. Don't look down. Look around. You're going to see black, dark, empty space for as far as you can see. And somewheres, if you look in the right direction, there'll be this blinding star, this blinding light. And you just look around. How are you doing? Because the answer should be fine. Why would I not be doing fine? I'm seeing a little ball spinning through empty space. Well, what if I get bored? Don't worry, you don't have to stay. You're not going to stay here very long, are you? How long, I'm asking you, this is how you use your mind to liberate you. The mind doesn't have to be the bad, non-spiritual thing. It can liberate you. That's Jnana Yoga, the yoga of wisdom. So now you're using your mind to spin through space. You sit down there and you say, how long am I going to be here? How long am I going to be here? 80, 90 years? That's pretty average nowadays for people in your culture. 80, 90 years. How long has that ball been here? 4.5 billion years. How long are you going to be here? What's your problem? I want you to laugh at yourself. What's your problem? There is no problem, is there? What if I look down at the Earth? It's beautiful. The astronauts have this overview experience where they wake up and they look down and they say, oh my God, the thing's gorgeous. It's just spinning through empty space, and little blue water and brown continents and white clouds. It's like a Christmas tree ball. And you look down, where's your problem? What it costs you to be there? What do you need to do to make sure the black forest is watered or the rainforest? The thing takes care of itself, doesn't it? For 4.5 billion years. And there is no problem. Just don't let your mind go where you think the problems are for a moment. We'll get there. Do you see there is no problem? Well, so-and-so did this. How long will he be here or she be here? Don't worry about it. Everybody's doing something. Do you imagine how much is going on that if you knew about it would bother you? Come on. 8.3 billion people, all causing trouble. All right? Saying things, doing things, feeling things, acting things, whatever, right? If you had to focus on that stuff, boy, will you please get up on the planet and take a seat and look what's going on? And you realize there are no problems. There are no problems. There are no problems. There are no problems. Well, but they're ruining the earth. They're not being environmental. If the entire earth blew up to smithereens tomorrow, just gone, all right? A couple of planets would change their orbit and nothing else would make any difference. Wouldn't even know you were here. Do you understand that? Is that fair? Can we discuss that? No, truth's not discussable, right? It's against the law. No. We're going to discuss the truth. That's the truth. I don't care if you like it or not. I told you, that little planet, so important, 1.3 million Earths fit inside the sun. How important is it? And if it's that important, how important are you? You think it's all about being important. It's about knowing you're not important, so you're free. You have to do this stupid stuff and not enjoying your journey on the planet. You came to the most beautiful planet. We haven't seen anything even close. Don't worry about it. The Hubble, nothing has seen anything even close. James Webb, nothing. We haven't seen life. We haven't seen anything. And you're on this planet kind of teeming with some stuff, isn't it? Some stuff to do all over the place all the time. You got quite an entertaining place going on here, don't you? When's the last time nothing was going on in front of you? Never. There's nothing going on anywhere else. Fire and blowing up and black holes eating galaxies. This is a little nicer here. You have the right to do that with your mind. Don't you? And we'll discuss in a minute what you decided to do with your mind. But for a moment, let's stay out there. It's kind of nice out there. Go anytime you want. You're not ignoring, you're not suppressing, you're not bypassing, you're not doing anything. You're using your mind for truth. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. That's the truth, isn't it? 1.3 million Earths inside the sun, and the sun is one of how many stars in your galaxy? 300 billion. How important is your junk? None. And how important is it to you? 100%. How important is what I just discussed with you, honestly, to you, about the fact that the planet's just been in the middle of nowhere, and 1.3 million Earths inside the sun, and there's 300 billion stars in your galaxy? Oh, I forgot to tell you, there's 2 trillion galaxies. Wake up. Who's stopping you from doing that and enjoying your life? No one. Seriously. Would you enjoy your life? To me, you do that every morning. I encourage you. I do it all the time. I have for 55 years. That was part of my awakening. I'm on a planet in the middle of nowheres. Holy mackerel. I think I'll think about that, okay? I used to, way back in 72, I'd get in my van before I started. My path, no one gave me a path. I wanted out. I figured it out. Get in my van, I had a VW camper, hippie boy. Before I'd start that van, every single time I get in my car, every single time, I'd stop and I'd see the planet and I'd see my car on top of the planet. I'm going to scoot around the little planet. I could drive a little planet in my VW van, and I would drive. And then when I got out, I'd do the same thing. I'm in a different place now on the planet. And I trained him. It wasn't just my car. If I walked into a building, there was generally a door somewhere. Have you ever noticed there are doors? I would stand there. It just takes a second. No one notices. I would stop there and realize I'm going to walk through a door on the planet Earth. Aren't I? Oh, it changes everything, doesn't it? I'm running a company. Phone would ring. Secretary would come in. There's a phone call for you. Before I would ever pick up the phone, no matter what was going on, no matter how good or bad, before I pick up that phone, I would stop, get off the planet. I'm about to pick up a phone on the planet Earth that's tied to somebody else. Hello. And I did. I'm telling you the truth. I trained him. And when I hang up that phone, you know what happens after you have a talk with somebody or hang up the phone? Okay, I do the same thing. Before he could do that, I get off the planet, realize just talk to somebody else on the planet. There's a number of us here. We can talk to each other kind of far out, right? You're welcome to do whatever you want with your mind. I highly advise. It's nice to know what you're doing with it. So the question becomes, why do we have so many problems that we, is us individually, community, family, world? Why? Because we're not doing that. We're not doing that. People don't do that. What do? They get distracted. What does consciousness? Gets distracted by this noise. Outside? No. Inside. There's noise inside? We have a friend. She's doing residency in neurosurgery. I'm going to ask her, when you cut that brain open, is there noise in there? What do you mean there's noise inside? Think about that, okay? There's noise in there, isn't there? There's a mind in there. There's thoughts in there. There's emotions in there. And guess what? They're very distracting. Are they not? How distracting? How about 100%? They're 100% distracting. Your thoughts and your emotions distract your consciousness all the time. All the time. Take a breath, okay? Then you're not living on the planet Earth. You're living in there. Your consciousness is experiencing that. Not experiencing what I talked to you about earlier, all right? That's capable of. Why? Because the following thing happened. You're in there and you're conscious. You're conscious what comes in through your senses. You were meant to be conscious what comes in through your senses. That's why you have senses. A computer in the old days, it was just within itself. It didn't have input-output ports. It didn't have talking to it or it talking or cameras. You didn't hook that stuff up. When I started, a little toy thing, but now it has I/O ports, input-output ports. It has sensors. It has a camera. What is that? A sensor. It has a microphone. What is that? A sensor. It has a speaker. What is that? Well, that's what your body has. You were given sensors, okay? Senses, sensors, they're the same thing. They let you do what? They let the consciousness inside experience the outside world. If you did not have sensors, you would not experience the outside world. You'd still be in there, but you would not be getting any input at all from the outside. You don't even know there was one. No touch, taste, smell, sight, hearing. Then there's no world, okay? That's why you were given senses. Because the purpose of creation is for the consciousness, which happens to be God, to experience his creation. You're an artist. You made a virtual, now I guess you have VR. That's good, right? You know, the Matrix. You made a VR, a tremendous world of VR. You want to get in? You want to never look at it? You want to make it and never see it? Not a chance in the world. All your creativeness, all the expression of your being wanted to create all this. Whatever you made a different one than him. Or you just created all that. You then go into play. You go and experience. You walk around. That's God. Create, express the entire being of yin and yang, everything that could possibly exist. And then the same consciousness that created it gets in to experience it. Guess who you are? That. You are God's emissary to experience the moment that you're experiencing. Do you experience moments? Does anybody else experience exactly the same moment as you're experiencing? Ever? Will they ever? Did they ever? Whoa, you're something very important. You want to be important? That's important. God creates the entire universe. That consciousness drops down here to experience that moment. Otherwise, you wasted it and no one experienced it. What good is a moment that no one experiences? Nothing. You give it meaning. You're pretty special. And every one of you have different moments all the time. Isn't that neat? That's like God's eyes, God's ears, God's senses. That's what you represent. You're doing a beautiful, wow, you're so special. Okay. Now, by the way, what we're about to discuss is what is meant by the fall from the garden. You get out and get back in, you know, this is the fall from the garden. That's the garden. Adam and Eve and all you guys are walking around experiencing creation. You're in God, and God is experiencing his creation. Consciousness is looking down through the senses and experiencing the creation that God created, walking through the world of your VR, of his VR. Okay? What's wrong with that? Nothing. There's nothing wrong. It's exciting. There's all kinds of different things all over the place. How many different things are there? It's hundreds of billions of quillions and zillions and trillions, right? And by the way, it's not just on Earth. It goes on everywhere. Oh my God. Okay? So that's what it means to be in creation. That's why people say, why did God create creation? I don't know. Why do you paint? Why does he create pottery? Why do you create? Why do you have this beautiful expression of your being? Because it's part of who you are, to express and create. So God created creation and then is experiencing it. There, that's it. That's what's meant to be. It's a wonderful experience. Now, we're painting the picture of what truth is, but now we're going to paint the picture of what happened. And what happened is the fall from the garden, because we ain't living there, are we? That's not quite the experience. Masters are having that experience. Enlightened masters, that's where they live. That's what it is. Okay? So what happened? Well, when the outside comes in through the senses, it's still outside. Understand that nothing has ever come in there. The snake doesn't come in there. Your child isn't in there. Your husband isn't in there. Your wife isn't in there. They're out here, right? They're out here. But there's energy. There's form and there's vibrations, energy. It is the experience that comes in. It's the energy of the experience that comes in. Then it comes into your mind and you experience it in there. You're not experiencing it out here. You experience it in there. I've been through that with you guys and you look at me like I'm weird. Are you seeing what you're looking at out there? No. No, you are not. You have never seen a single thing out there. What is happening is light is bouncing off of the object, off the atoms, the molecules of the object, reflecting back into your sensor, your optical sensor, stimulating the sensor, which stimulates the nerves, which is your wiring, the computer's wiring. The nerves are your wiring, sending it back as impulses, electrical impulses. Nowadays with networking, we do it digitally. We turn it into numbers and send it back. It's the same thing. It sends it back. It hits the brain. That's what we're all coming back to. It then renders an exact, not always so exact, but an exact copy, a rendering, takes those impulses and turns them into a visualization in your mind of what you're looking at. Right now, you are not looking at me. You are looking inside your mind at that refracted image of me. Isn't that pretty neat? Okay? Look at her. Look at the colors of her beautiful shawl. There is no color. Look at me. There is no color of any object. Only light has color. Roy G. Biv. The light vibrations, different frequencies of light, have color. When you shine light through a prism has no color. It started with no color, but you see all these colors. That's because light has colors. Your eye picks up the different frequencies as colors. The thing doesn't have color. I'll prove it to you. Turn off the lights. Shine a black light. Shine an infrared. Oh, the colors are changing. No, it's just reflecting a different vibration of light. So there is no color out there. It's just that the molecules that the light is bouncing off of on these colorful shawls are different frequencies. It bounces different frequencies of the spectrum. So wake up. It's not anything like you think it is. But boy, you sure think it is, don't you? I like that color. What do you like light? Ew, I don't like that color. It makes me sick. I don't like it. I told you I don't like that. I want a different shade. How much? Just a slightly different shade. You know how many shades of white there are? I was a builder. I had to go to customers back in the old days, right? And say, all right, what color you want the kitchen? Okay, here's a little fan of colors, right? It would take them 3 months to pick the color, right? So I'm not sure. The charge used to be 5 colors. They're like 300 whites. And they'll have names. Egg white, this white, that white. All right? And your mind can't decide. They're all the same. They're just light bouncing off the stupid objects. Wake up, okay? All right. So now what happened? So this stuff comes in through your senses, and it feels different. One color feels different than the other. You understand? It literally feels different. I don't like what this feels like. What? A color? It comes in with a vibration. Everything has different vibrations. So the object's not coming in, but the vibration of the object is coming in through your senses, rendering in your mind. Okay? Fine. You're supposed to experience everything. It's a world of color. It's a world of no color. It's a world of light. It's a world of dark. It's a world of good. It's a world of evil. Oh, I said it. It's everything. God's everything. Therefore, it has to be everything. All right. What happened was, for some reason, I'm not going to explain the point. I don't know anything. For some reason, and all I had to do was happen once, your consciousness got a little more distracted by one thing versus another. Oh my God, look at that purple. All of a sudden, I'm not experiencing the purple. I'm staring at the purple. I'm not seeing the purple. I'm looking at the purple. You're always seeing, but now I'm looking. Why? What's the difference? I got distracted. It somehow pulled more of my consciousness to it than the other object. Okay? This is deep stuff. Okay? I don't care what they teach you in religion. This is what literally happened. How do I know? Because it's happening every moment of your life. The exact same thing. What do you mean? Go outside. There's grass. How many blades? Thousands, millions of blades of grass. There's trees. Lots and lots of trees. There's clouds. There's animals. There's all kinds of things. And then there's this rattlesnake. Are they all the same? Do they all have the same effect on your consciousness? They're all the same. They're made of the periodic table. You go down to quantum physics, they're just little wavelets in a quantum field. All of them. They're all exactly the same. Is it not true that the snake is electron, neutrons, and protons? And so is the grass, and so is the trees. And now we know there aren't even electron neutral protons. There's quarks, leptons, and bosons, and there aren't even those. There's wavelets in a quantum field. And which one do you like? Which wavelet do you like? I used to think people, I have a giant periodic table. I never took a science class in my life. All right, I'm in business school. Give me a break. And I have a periodic table that somebody gave me for a gift sitting in my study. All right? Oh my God. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen every time I look at it. Why? Every single thing that we know of in the universe is made out of those boxes. Fine, so there's 100 billion trillion of those and these and this. Which one do you like? I'm going to take it down to my house and I'll have you look at the table and I say, which of those boxes do you like the most? Which ones you're afraid of? Which ones are good and which ones are evil? They're just atoms. They're elements. And not even that. Now we know that there's wavelets in the quantum field. What have you done? How did you do this? I'm telling you how you did this. Not everything feels the same. Well, not everything is the same. Out there, it really is all the same. But you're going to pay more attention to that snake than you pay attention to the grass or the trees or anything like that, because it gives off some serious vibrations. Okay? All right. Those come in, and what's supposed to happen, I'm serious, and what happens in an enlightened master, they're all the same. They're just God in form. It's just all coming in, passing through. They feel different. Fine. It's good. It's neat. It's what's supposed to be. I'm supposed to experience the differentials. You want everything to be the same? No fun at all. All right? Comes in, passes through. Through what? My consciousness. My consciousness doesn't have to go down there to experience it. It's coming in. It like pours into my consciousness, like rivers into the ocean. It just pours in and makes it through. Then the next thing happens. If I focus more on one thing than another, I miss the next thing. You miss the grass, you miss the trees, you miss the clouds, you miss the weather, you miss the person talking to you because it was a snake. You only saw a snake. That's neat, you only saw a snake. You missed everything else. Bad enough, you only see what's within your senses, but you don't do that. You only see what distracts you the most. Is everything even to you? Not even close. Because more consciousness got focused on some things than others. Why? That's the original sin. That's like, it's not all God now. They're talking about duality. You have all the terms duality, all non-dual teachings, all that kind of stuff. You just made duality. There wasn't duality. There was just consciousness experiencing form, experiencing creation. But now all of a sudden, it's consciousness experiencing one part of creation more than another. I'm standing before a Monet. I like Monet. I'm standing before a beautiful Monet painting. What do I see? A painting. But if I'm an art critic, I'm looking at Monet's painting saying, oh, this stroke could have been a little bit higher. Notice it's not the... Give me a break. What did he just do? He turned the painting into duality, into multiplicity. He's looking at every little thing and how... Right? What does that do? It ruins the painting, doesn't it? It ruins your appreciation of the art. Well, that's what you've done with God. That's what you've done with creation. You've looked a little bit too close, haven't you? And that's because your consciousness got distracted, so you focused more conscious. That's the original sin, that you focus more consciousness on something versus something else. What does that do? One, it makes it last. It made a bigger impression on you than anything else did. Therefore, it stayed, and it didn't just stay. There's a reason. Oh, I can't believe we're talking about this. I'm so proud of you to listen, right? If people could be taught the level of truth, the reason it stayed is because you put consciousness on it. If everything's pouring in the same, it's all one. There's no duality. There's just oneness. Oneness experiencing oneness. But if you focus your consciousness on a particular thing, you put more Shakti, more energy, more consciousness into that thing. So what happens? There's a reason you put more consciousness on that. It either scared you, or you either hated it, scared of it, it bothered you, you were not comfortable with it, or you were really comfortable with it. Those are the two you pay the focus to, right or wrong. You pay attention to the white lines in the road? Yeah, I see them, but then I don't dream about them at night. I don't know about you. I don't like them and not like them. Oh my God, there's that again, all right? Or the trees you drive by, or the people you see that you don't even know. But when you focus on something, it's because it had this impact on you of either like or dislike. And that's a problem. You don't think it is. You think what you like is really good and what you dislike is really bad. No, like and dislike are a major problem. Why? Because they cause you to focus more on one object versus another. And you not only focus on it, you hold on to it. Well, to me, if I don't like it, I'll let it go. If I eat food I don't like, I don't want nothing to do with it ever again. Go away from me, right? What you do with things you don't like is you store them. Go talk to Freud. That's what suppression and repression are. I didn't like that, so I don't want to experience it. Listen to me, please. If I don't like it, I don't experience it. You already did experience it. In order to not like it, you experienced it. But you're saying, I don't want to experience it. And so there's this reaction inside where consciousness, which is everything, focuses its will, its power to push it away. To push what away? The snake? No, I don't want to touch on the snake. The experience, the inner experience, that which created in your mind, rendered in your mind, doesn't have to come all the way in, does it? Have you ever held something away because it bothered you and you don't want to experience it? Yes or no? You better say yes. That's what I'm talking about. You do it all the time. How many times have you literally, I don't like the smell, I don't like what it look like, I don't like the thought, I don't like it. Don't you have a pushing? There's a sense of keep it away from me. That's your consciousness saying, I don't want to experience this. You already did. You're never going to not have experienced it. Now, I'm going to ask you another question. Have you ever totally not done that about an experience that was very beautiful and you kept your hands off and you weren't even there and it melted you so deeply, it came all the way in and you just went into ecstasy, into bliss? You said things like, oh my God, it touched me to the depth of my being. I felt I was in the presence of God. Rare, but you have at some point experienced something like that. Okay, that's the difference. That's what it was all supposed to be like. All of it. It wasn't the object that mattered. It was the experience pouring into your being that brought about that ecstasy, that brought about that sense of fullness, of wholeness. Why? Because you're the ecstasy. You are the ecstasy. You in there. Consciousness is Satchidananda, eternal conscious ecstasy. But if you're busy pushing away everything, then what you're paying attention to is what you pushed away. You're not paying attention to who you are. There, I talked to you about that. Now you're building the anchor. Every single thing you ever pushed away is still there. Go talk to Freud. Does problems you have in the past ever come back up? Do they have to happen again to come back up? Or are they still in there? Come on, what do they tell you about your formative years in your childhood? There's nothing about your childhood was bad and comes back up. Nothing. That's because you held it in there. You pushed away the experience. The object's already gone. People are dead. It'll never happen again. You had a bad relationship with your sister 20, 30 years ago. Can stuff 20, 30 years ago still bother you? Does it bother the person next to you that didn't experience that? No. Oh, I see. So now what we have built inside of our mind is what we stored because we resisted it. And that's the truth. It's called a samskara, an impression that didn't make it through. You stored those, didn't you? And some of them were positive experiences. Not many. I tell you, I hope you get to meditate on this. Think about this while you walk around life. How much stuff you stored in there that even comes back up now. The slightest thing, a person, you see somebody, they look like something else, you this, you smell, anything. Ooh, all this negativity comes up. Why do you think they teach you to do positive thinking? Because you're so negative. All right? Do other thinking. What's that? Well, you know what positive thinking is because you know what negative thinking is. Because that's how it normally is. Because you stored all that junk in there and everything stimulates it. Every single thing comes back up. You need everything to be exactly the way you need it to be okay. So basically what happened is it comes in, you don't let it come in, you store it. Now it's all stored as what's called a samskara, an impression that came in that you stored. I was doing positive. Can positive things happen? Yes, you have wonderful, beautiful experiences. Okay? You turn a corner and the sun is setting and oh my, it's lavender and purple. And, oh, so gorgeous. It blows you away. You have to pull over and just go into a state of beauty and ecstasy. Oh my God. What do? You looked at the house on the corner. What if I lived there? I could see this all the time. I want to bring my friend. You didn't let it go through. it ruined your life just as much as the negative experience. Why? Because you want it to happen again. Guess what? It will never happen again. It will never happen again. That was a totally new experience for you. The next time you see it, it will not look the same. First of all, it won't look the same anyways. It'll never happen again. Go to a restaurant and have the most finest meal you've ever, oh my God, it blew you away. Like the music was perfect. The people were perfect. No one was smoking. The specials for the day were vegan. Oh my God, whoever heard such a thing, all right? And it was cooked. They just brought in a special chef from Europe. Oh my God, it was unbelievable. Go there, have that experience. Good. I hope you enjoyed it. It's wonderful. Go store it, and you will. And go tell your friends to come with you next time. Don't do it, because it ain't going to be the same experience. It will not be the same special, will not be the same people, will not be the same music, will not be the same waiter, will not be the same anything. Plus, you will compare everything to what you liked before. Therefore, you ruined it. If you compare it, it loses. That's what the art critic did to the Monet. He wasn't willing to experience the Monet. He brought it in and compared it to Van Gogh and compared it to Renoir, compared it to another one of Monet's paintings. It's over. You're in your mind now. You're not experiencing it. You're experiencing your mind. That's what's going to happen when you go back to that restaurant, isn't it? Oh, it was a bigger server last time. Oh, it was this, it was that. I don't know. It's just not going to be the same. So those impressions that you bothered storing have ruined your life. But you don't know that. You don't think that. You think if I can have that experience again, I'll be fine. And if it's even close, it's better than not. So you go out trying to find that experience. And the ones that bothered you, you don't have those again, do you? Has anything ever bothered you? Has a person ever bothered you? Has somebody said ever bothered you? Has somebody ever did bother you? Lots of things have bothered you, haven't you? You don't want those to happen again, do you? So now you're busy walking into God's life with you. That's your anchor. You stored that stuff in there, and now you can't experience life. You have to make sure it's not doing what you don't want, and that it is doing what you want. And you're busy making that happen, aren't you? They teach you to do that. I love that. You can get what you want. The third Zen patriarch, first line. Ramdas used to hand out a little booklet back in the 70s, all right? The great way is not difficult for those who have no preferences. That's the essence of all of spirituality. In other words, if you don't have preferences, now that doesn't mean get rid of your preferences. Look at me. I can't believe I'm talking at this level. It's not about getting rid of your preferences. It's for those who have no preferences. If you're getting rid of your preferences, you already have them. You're suppressing them. You're denying them. You're renouncing them. That's not the same thing as not having any, is it? You're deep people. Do you get the difference? How do you have no preferences? We can discuss that. But that's very different than saying, I don't go with my preferences. I can handle my preferences. I suppress my preferences. Yoga goes a lot deeper. Why do you have preferences? Because you stored this stuff. You got hurt by something before. I don't want to see them again. I don't touch that. I want to breathe that. I don't have anything to do with it. Well, then you have a problem. Right? You have a problem. They teach you first impressions are really important. That is not my experience. My experience is my first impression is how you hit me, not how you are. Oh, God, look, your eyes look just like my sister's. I love her so much. Oh, my God, you must be a really special person. No, you're a serial killer. Your impression is not what they are. It's how it hits your stuff. So if you have stuff in there that's positive about her sunglasses or about this or about that, then all of a sudden I have a positive first impression. If you talk nice to me, I have a positive first impression. Truth is, you're trying to manipulate me. Every word you say is a lie. But I love you. I want to see you again. And so you catch on. You store all this stuff in there. And now you're living your life based on the lowest part of your being, the stuff you couldn't handle. And I stored it, and now I'm trying to live my life to make sure it doesn't happen again. Look at me. Okay, now you see how real what I'm talking about? Now you see what's the fall from the garden? They said in the fall, what happens after the fall from the garden? Now you must work by the sweat of your brow to be okay. Know anything about that? So basically, your consciousness now has collected the things that it didn't like the most and some that it did, and now it's not living life. It's trying to make life live me. You don't want to live life. You want life to be the way you want it to be. You have likes and dislikes and preferences and hopes and dreams and concepts and views about what? About the things you experience and that you like and you don't like. Now you look out in this world and that's all you see is yourself. Do you understand how true that is? That's all you see is yourself projected out there. And you want it to be that way. Spiritual growth is you've let go of yourself. You've let go of that part of you that got built in there so that you can see and live reality and experience the wholeness, be here now. That's spirituality. If you're sitting there saying the only time I can be okay is if life matches me, you understand that? Okay, and that's what we're saying, isn't it? I know how to get everything the way I want. Do we have any experience of what the world looks like when everybody's out there trying to get what they want? Not picking anyone in particular. Everybody. You see what it's like if everybody's out there trying to get what they want. It don't work too good, does it? Why? Because everybody wants something different. Why? Because they all had different experiences. They all stored different things. You loved your sister. She didn't like her at all. Do you hear me? It is not about getting what you want. It is about letting go of yourself. It is about being the self that is not caught in looking at this tiny little thing you built in there called your ego, your self-concept of what I like, what I don't like, what I believe, what I don't believe, what I think is right, what I think is wrong, who I like and who I don't like, what religion I believe in and what religion is wrong. Oh my God, where'd you get all of that? I built it from my past experiences. And that was what psychology says. Man is the sum of learned experiences. Well, you haven't experienced very much, I'll tell you that right now, the tiny little bit you experienced, you missed everything else, and you built this ego in there, and it is a major problem. Is that not what's going on? You have these concepts and views and hopes and dreams and preferences and fears and anxieties and blah, blah, blah. They're different than his or hers. They're different than they were yesterday, aren't they? Do they change? Then they're not real. You're not your ego. It's something you built inside the mind. Instead of using your mind to go into outer space like I taught you to do and be free, you let your mind fixate, totally be addicted to your ego self. What do I like? What don't I like? I don't like what you did. I can't believe you said that. Right or wrong? And that's what's going on, and that's what you're staring at. And you'll talk about your heart reacts to that. Okay? That's what you're staring at. You're completely lost in this ignorance. Absurd. It's absurd. But so is everybody else. And every single thing you're taught is how to get what you want and avoid what you don't want. Or that what you want is wrong. You shouldn't want that. Now, not only do we have preferences, there are ones we're not supposed to have. And now we've doubled down. That's Freud's ego, it's superego and it. And that's so complicated, is it? And are you it or not? You're not, but you're being it, aren't you? Okay? That is a problem. It's nothing but a problem. Your views, your opinions, your hopes, your dreams, your concepts, your views keep you from God. Okay? The great ones have let go. What did Christ say? When it's said and done, what did Christ say in order to reach the state that he's at? As I sit by the throne of my Father, so you shall sit by my throne. He said, you must die to be reborn. Who knows what that means? Well, I think we're talking about, aren't we? You must die of the personal self to not be distracted by it, so you are then reborn into the spiritual self. Naturally, just like the hot air balloon goes up by itself. Cut the tethers. Stop staring at yourself. Is that not what he taught? Ultimately, go read these teachings. They were beautiful. So basically, we've had an interesting discussion because now, more than anyone, you understand the fall from the garden. That is the fall from the garden. The fact that God consciousness, that's everything and made everything. It is everything. Therefore, there's no problem. There's just such an ananda ecstasy experiencing everything. All right? Stared a little too closely at one thing. And once you separate, if you have one preference, one, it will ruin your life. One, just one. I don't want to see a snake. I saw a snake once. It was scary. I don't want to see a snake. All right? How do you feel about baby rattles? No, I don't go there. What about coiled ropes? Oh my God, no, stay away from it. How about zoos that have reptile exhibits? Are you kidding me? That's disgusting. Would you like to go live up in the Rocky Mountains? Are there rattlers? Would you like to live in Arizona? I heard they have rattlesnakes. It runs your life. So look at that. One preference. And you made it your life. Instead of God being your life. Instead of life being your life. So you now, is it easy to get rid of? No. It's not easy to get rid of the ego. Can it? Yes. How? You don't buy into everything it says. You understand you're looking at the sum of your learned experiences. There's nothing holy about your experience. I know you think they are. Do you understand? And this is the greatest gift I will ever give you, right? No one looks at things the way you do. No one. You're the center of your life. So it's a big deal to you that you have a blemish. It's a big deal to you that your car isn't as nice as somebody else's, or that your job title isn't the same as it was. It's like, oh my God, I don't want to see people. I'm embarrassed. I don't feel good I'm going to work anymore. Come on, you got one. Anybody got one? Aren't they fun? Isn't it fun having one of those? Doesn't it make your life really nice? Then get rid of it. Otherwise, it ruins your life, doesn't it? Nobody sees things the way you do. You're the center of your life. You're the center of everybody else's life. They're busy with themselves. You think they care what job you have? Or whether you drop some ketchup on your pants? You feel like, oh my God, I didn't do this and that. Then you think, well, maybe somebody saw it. I don't even want to go back to work tomorrow. It's that crazy. Nobody else cares about the ketchup on your stupid pants. But you think they do because you care about what they think about you. Which one do you care about people think about you? That's absurd. But you want to know why? They're not thinking about you. They're thinking about them. When I grew up, people wore jeans and they didn't have rips in them. If you had rips in them, you were very poor and we feel sorry for you and so on, right? And now it's a status symbol. The most ripped thing could possibly be. And I love it. It's beautiful, right? It's how they're thinking. It has nothing to do with what it is. They're projecting themselves onto you. So don't you dare waste your life caring what people think about you. They're not thinking about you. Here, do you like blonde hair? Oh, it depends. If I went out with a blonde in high school and she dumped me, right? I think they're all bimbos. If I went with a blonde and she helped me with my math and she was brilliant, I really loved her a lot, but she was older than me. Right now I love blondes. It has nothing to do with the blonde. What people think about you has nothing to do with you. It's the most important thing you could ever realize. When you have relationships with somebody, you go on a date, you want them to like you, right? What should you wear? You think that. You'd have to know that guy or gal's history to know, oh, I'll wear ripped jeans, right? You don't know that his sister was wearing ripped jeans when she died. How do you know anything? It has nothing to do with you. But you want them to like you. You better watch out because you're not going to have a very nice life. What's the right way to live? I'm letting go of myself, of this garbage. I am reaching for the stars. I'm sitting on that planet spinning through space, and I'm having a good time. And that's what I'm going to do with every moment of my life. I'll go to work. I'll have children. I'll get married, but not because I need anything. And now that you understand how ego works, you don't want to need anything from another person. They don't care about you. My children do. Wait till you see. My husband does till I get divorced. Then what? Come on. People, no, you shouldn't be this way. People care about themselves. Blush, turn away. Do you care about yourself? When you say, I love you, what are you saying to somebody? You are not saying, I love you. You're saying, I feel love in your presence, and I like it. And the moment I don't feel love in your presence, hasta luego. Isn't it terrible to talk like this? No, it's not terrible to talk like this. Otherwise, you're caught in it. So basically, you need to wake up and realize you are already okay. You don't need anything. You're whole. You're complete within yourself. You're the highest thing who walks the face of the earth. But you're looking at something that isn't, and you're buying into that. You're doing exactly what your ego said. I don't feel comfortable. I'm going to leave. I don't like what he said. I don't want to deal with him. Whatever that thing says that you built in there, you listen to as if it's God. You do have a God, ego. You literally say something happened outside that you liked. Oh my God. Thank you, God. God's pleased with me. There is a God. There is a God. Look, there is a God. Something happens outside you don't like. There's no God. Why would you do that? No God would do that. Look at you. So spirituality is about letting go of yourself, dying to be reborn. How do you do that? You're going to find out constantly in your life that things open you and close you. They hit you away. You don't necessarily act on it, but it hits you in a way and you open or close, right or wrong. Okay? Relax. What do you mean? Just what I said. Well, what do I do about the fact that I open or close? Relax. Don't let your consciousness get involved in that reaction. I should suppress it? No, that's getting involved. I should yell at it, change it. That's getting involved. I should love it. It's better, but that's getting involved. Why can't you just relax in the face of that vibration? So you learn that you don't have to focus and bring the beautiful consciousness down to any of that stuff. Just relax. It comes and goes if you relax. It's when you toy with it that it stays. And you resist it or you grab it. So you just learn. You learn, okay? So people practice. For example, the food you're eating, you really like it, right? Some people teach. I've taught it, all right? I do even do it sometimes, even now. You really like it. Leave a little bit on the plate. No. I dare you. Learn to let go. Learn to be comfortable that it isn't the way ego wants it to be. It's hot out. Learn to appreciate that's that star up there shining. You're close enough to a star to feel its heat. That's kind of exciting. You hear me? Learn to work with yourself, to free yourself, to let go, to honor and respect. If you do that, if you relax through these little things, you're going to find out you can do it with bigger things, and then bigger things. Then you're going to find out that you're okay. You who relaxed are okay. You didn't get involved with the garbage you collected in there. So it's not about getting what you want. It's about letting go of the reason you want things. You want them because you're not seated in the self. If you let go, you end up in the self. If you go out to try and get what you want, you're falling down into the garden even further. So it's about relax through yourself and then serve. Just relax and then do what you can to help what's in front of you. Okay. Work on these things. Jagrata.
You've been listening to the Michael Singer Podcast, produced by Sounds True in partnership with Shanti Publications. For more information on Michael's body of work and all back episodes, please join us at michaelsingerpodcast.com. Thanks so much for listening. Sounds True, waking up the world.